What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. It's Extreme Jelly Drivers. And I know I haven't done a video in a minute, but man, I've been busy. I've been busy on the Commander. And let me just show you what I've been up to. All right, so you guys remember the last video I did, I was actually at the junkyard trying to source parts for this front end. I found myself a bumper. I found myself some fenders and some new wheel liners. And check out what we've created over here. How rad does this look? So I cut the bumper, like I said, and this time I cut it not nearly as aggressive as last time. You can see here on the sides, it's not nearly as diagonal as it was. I think it turned out much better this way. I think it just looks a lot better. This bumper was red. These fenders were black. And what I did was, I went crazy with some Plasti Dip. So I went ahead, Plasti Dipped the front bumper here. I used a crazy color of Plasti Dip that I've never seen before called, I think it's Platinum. I'll put a link down in the description. You can actually only get it from Plasti Dip. And dude, look how good it matches the hood. I mean, it matches so well. It's basically the same color. It's just textured because, you know, Plasti Dip is just basically spray on rubber. So, turned out sick. I also went ahead, painted this guy black. Looks cool. Put these guys on. Instead of a black little isolator, I used the gray that I bought initially when I bought these things. I think it just turned out super rad. I apologize that the truck is dirty, but let me know down in the comments, man, what do you think? So it wasn't just a Plasti Dip extravaganza. I did more than just Plasti Dip. I actually match painted these fenders, and dude, look how good it looks. I mean, you would never know that I did that in my garage. I mean, it turned out amazing. I mean, the truck is dirty right now, like I said, but dude, look how good that looks. Just incredible. Super happy with these junkyard fenders. The other one does have a little tear down here that I didn't realize it had when I purchased them, but it doesn't matter. It's a Jeep, man. It's a Jeep. But yeah, turned out sick. So one more part that I want to show you that I did some Plasti Dipping on. Check out the rear, dude. Huh? Look at that. Turned out rad. So I took the rear bumper off and Plasti Dipped the sides there as well as the fender to give it a cool look. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. I should be sponsored by Plasti Dip. Here's the other side here. Super rad. Oh, and as a little test, I painted this. This is chrome. And I painted this with the silver Plasti Dip. And man, it turned out really well. I mean, look at it from this angle here. It really kind of blends in. Again, it's just textured. So it doesn't have the same shine, but it's like the same color. So I'm going to do this to this as soon as I get time and cancel out this chrome. And then up here, I will Plasti Dip this black. So I'll do that at some point. But yeah, my little experiment here worked out really well. So one of the things I've been doing besides just Plasti Dip my whole car is I installed some sliders that I got from Steel Armadillo. I got them on a Black Friday sale. I got like 22% off. They were $6.50 shipped to my door. Deal of the century. The only issue is they don't fit right. So when you get the sliders, they come in raw steel. You can do anything you want to them. You can paint them like I did, or you can go ahead and have them powder coated. But I will warn you that when you're installing these things, man, you're going to drop them at least once on the driveway. So if you spent all that money on powder coating, they're just going to get screwed up. And not to mention, if you take your car off road and hit a rock or something like that, they're gonna get scraped. You're never gonna get that powder coat right again. And lastly, you're gonna see in a minute that the sliders, the ones that I received, did not fit right. They need to be the tabs need to be re-welded. If this whole thing was powder coated, I'd have to chip all the powder coat off and then re-weld tabs. I mean, it would be a nightmare. So anyway, I went ahead and just used regular flat spray paint. Let me show you how this side looks. This is the driver's side. This is the one I did first. And you may be looking at it and say, dude, it turned out sick, dude. Look how awesome that looks. And yeah, it does look good. I love the little Steel Armadillo they have stamped in the little foot plate there. And on this side, I went ahead and cut the factory molding that goes here to kind of hide some of the things that you kind of lose out on when you remove this piece. I'll show you what I mean on the other side. But what you're not seeing here is just the front tab that goes right here is literally this far off from touching the car. It's not even close. And the rear one I do have attached, but it's not that great. It's attached solidly underneath. But I'll be honest with you, I haven't even stepped on this thing. I'm sure nothing would happen if I did, but I certainly wouldn't want to bash in any rocks right now because the way it's installed with the vehicle is just not that solid. So let me take you over to the passenger side, which I just finished up today, and you'll see what I mean about how this fits. So here it is without the plastic cover. And again, you may be saying to yourself, hey, this looks so bad. But here, check this out. This bracket here, do you see that bolt there? That's tight. I mean, that is, it's a 1/4 inch off. This is supposed to be flush with the steel here on the vehicle. It fits nice and level. You can see here, I dropped it once already on the driveway. I can just hit that up with some spray paint and it'll be fixed. But dude, this is the issue right here. Look at this. That is a mile. It's a mile off. Look, my whole finger. Go back here, easy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this off, bring it to my buddies, and have him line it up, weld it straight, and then I'll come back and install a little nut zert. That's how these are installed. They're bolted on with nut zerts. So I'll install a little nut zert there, and then I'll probably run it like this. I think I kind of like this look better than the plastic piece. You guys let me know down below what you think. I'll probably match the brackets to the silver of the vehicle, or what I'll do is I'll paint all that black underneath the seam there. I haven't decided yet. Let me know what you guys think. So now I want to say this is not an attempt to bash Steel Armadillo by any stretch of the imagination. They make great products, man. They make great products. I have their mounts for the corner lights. I have their CB antenna mount. They do good stuff, and they're one of the few rare companies that actually make stuff for the Jeep Commander. So not hating on them. I haven't even notified them. I'm not going to bother. There's no way I could ship these back. I've already painted them. They weigh 50 pounds each. I mean, there's no way it's going back to Utah, which is where Steel Armadillo's from. So I'm going to make it happen. It's going to be fine in the long run. I will say this too. They were marked XK all over them, which is for the Jeep Commander. They do make these sliders for other rides, but every picture I saw online, my brackets look nothing like the pictures I've seen online. Granted, I'm dealing with a Jeep Commander here that basically no one does anything to these vehicles. They just complain about them online. So there aren't really like updated, there's not a lot of like updated shots of new parts going on vehicles, unless you're subbed to my channel and you see all the stuff I'm doing. So anyway, overall, the sliders are like, they're bomb proof. Those brackets are just off. So I'll get it straightened out. It'll be fine in the long run. But I've been spending lots and lots of time on those sliders, and it's disappointing, but in the long run, everything's gonna be fine. So now that I got you guys up to date on what I've been doing over the last month, let me talk about what we're gonna be installing today, because I have some cool stuff. Some I got for Christmas and some I got on a little bit of a deal that they're running after Christmas. Check this out. So what I got here is a skid plate from ASFIR. I got this from their website. I got 5% off and 0.5% off of shipping. This thing is aluminum. It's pretty hefty, dude. It's super thick. I mean, look how thick that is. It's got to be 20, 25 pounds, I would say. This is the factory one. I mean, this thing is just straight up just junk. It's just a piece of plastic. They try to call it a skid plate. Now, the Limited does come with a metal skid plate around the gas tank, but everything else, this being everything else, is plastic. So, junky, this is awesome. So, we're going to be installing this in a minute. This should be really simple. I mean, it's 6 or 7 bolts. Super easy to install. It should go right in the place of this. And then I got some taillights as a Christmas gift from the old wife. Check these guys out, man. Look how sweet they are. Smoked. And these are good because my current OEM taillights hold water. Never a good thing when it comes to your lighting. We're going to install those again. Should be super easy to install. And the last thing I got was this cool little LED light. It is wireless. Let me turn it on for you here. And boop, it's rechargeable. It's dimmable. Check that out. And I got it off Amazon. Link down in the description. See if I know how to turn it off. What we're going to do with this is we're going to install it in the back of the lift gate for additional light back there. And the cool thing is not only is it wireless, it can come off. So if you need to go look around in under your engine bay or something like that, you can do that. And then it mounts on its bracket here magnetically. So really cool little thing. This thing was 20 bucks, man. It's rechargeable, like I said, right there. And really cool little add-on. So we're gonna throw that on, throw this guy on, taillights. Commander's gonna be killer. Here's the hardware that comes with the skid plate. Nice stainless steel stuff. Comes with all your washers and lock washers and some little guys for the front. So let me go ahead and throw this guy on, man. It should take 2 seconds. It is so nice when you spend a good amount of money on something and it just fits perfectly. Oh my God. It's so nice. It's so nice. It rarely happens. Whether you're building, Preludes or Commanders, Miatas, motorcycles, if you buy some aftermarket, it rarely fits perfectly, man. Rarely. And this skid plate fit perfectly. So it's perfect. I couldn't be happier with it. Here's the look. I know the lighting is terrible. I was able to reinstall that little plastic garnish piece that I got off the OEM bumper. I really like it on there. It just kind of finishes everything off. I'm really happy I was able to reinstall that. What's cool about the skid plate is not only does it attach in the 2 kind of factory locations, there's a 3rd one where it attaches. And then it attaches in the 4 OEM spots with the hardware down there. And you can see how well it all fits. It's really kind of hard to film a skid plate. But trust me, man, huge improvement over the plastic piece that was there. And really will be nice. It might make changing oil a little bit more difficult because you got to drop this pan in order to get to the filter. But man, I mean, just look how it wraps up around here on the sides. It's really beautiful. So one last thing about the skid plate is that it actually comes from Israel, I think. Somewhere really, really far away from the United States. And when you place your order, you're like, oh my God, how long is this thing gonna take to get here? It comes via DHL and it came in like 4 days. I swear to God. Really amazing. And dude, the packaging, I could have done a whole film on packaging because it took me like 15 minutes to get this thing out of the plastic, out of the box, out of the whole bit. It comes packaged really, really, really well. A lot of companies can learn from ASFIR, is that how you say it? But anyway, you can learn from them, man, because they know how to package something. All right, now let's do taillights, man. I don't know if you've ever done your taillights on the Jeep Commander. I've removed them several times for many different reasons, but they're almost fun. That's how kind of easy they are. They're held in place by 2 little guys here. These are a little annoying to get going. But once you remove these 2 things by using just a pry tool, this whole thing just boop, pops out. You turn the little innards and replace the light. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, taillights installed. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, huh? Let me check it out, man. Commander's looking sick. It's looking sick. This is starting to become kind of what I envisioned. It's becoming the coolest Commander I've seen. So last thing to install, last little Christmas gift, the little LED light. And the idea of this guy is for it to either illuminate this area or illuminate this area. So initially I thought I would mount it here or maybe on the glass. But here's the issue with that. Okay, it installs with a 3M double-sided tape. The issue with installing it up here is that when the lift gate closes, this will be smashed into here. All right, so that's not going to work. Okay, so it can't go here. If I put it here, number one, I think it's going to be annoying when I look at my rearview mirror. It's going to be visible. Number two is that I open the glass up a lot to have access to in here. So closing this repeatedly may make this come ajar, you know, fall off, whatever. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to put it here. This will definitely illuminate this area here and will not be in my field of vision when I look in my rearview mirror. And again, this light is detachable. So if I want to just pull this thing off and use it, you know, here or whatever, I'll be able to do that. So a little tip, if you watched like one of my first videos, I let you know that when you're installing double-sided tape and you really want it to stick, heat it up and then it melts a little bit. The thing's never coming off. We got it installed. Pretty rad. Turn it on. You just touch it and it remembers like the last lighting setting you had. Hold it and it'll get brighter. And dude, that's pretty bright. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Now, I know all of you are going to be asking about the netting. Everything I installed today, all you'll want to know is about the stupid net. All this thing is one of those universal kind of nets that usually go across back here. And I installed it above using all the hardware provided, self-tapping screws. It certainly is not going to hold a bowling ball, but the reason I put it up here is I think it'd be useful for hanging clothes. You know, if you had wet clothes, you would close in here so they could dry. You know, if you got rained on or something like that. Also, too, this is a really good place to put like your sleeves. What I mean by that is everything that you have when you go camping, your chair, your hammock, your sleeping bag, they all have like these nylon sleeves that kind of like keep them organized. And so you yank that off and then you assemble your chair or something like that. And then you have the sleeve laying around. You don't know what to do with it. Well, that's what I do is I keep them up here and keeps them nice and out of the way. You can also put stuff on top, but this is like a pocket and that's what I like about it. So yeah, it's pretty rad. I'll put a link down in the description. I know you guys are, oh my God, dude, where'd you get that net? I'll put a link down in the description. You know, if you want to know how I installed it, again, it's self-tapping screws. It's pretty self-explanatory. The idea when I installed this was to install it in pieces I could easily replace. So what I mean is you can see right here, this is one piece of plastic and it loops over. I mean, I could find 16 of these at a junkyard if I wanted to. And the same goes for the plastic above the windows. Super easy to find that if necessary, if this thing fails and it becomes a disaster. So another reason why I installed this here again is this piece is totally easily to find, easily to replace. That is going to do it for this one, guys. Please like, please subscribe. I know it's kind of like a lot of talking in this one. I try not to do these type of videos, but sometimes when I'm doing an install, it's like impossible to film. So that's kind of what happened with the sliders. And I know skid plate isn't all that exciting, neither are taillights, but they are cool. And definitely check the links down in the description. No affiliation in any of these companies, but if you want your Jeep Commander to look cool like mine, go ahead and pick up some of these parts, man, because they're rad. One last thing on the skid plate, they do come in steel. So if you want steel, you can get steel. It's cheaper, but heavier, like double the weight. And the thing about steel is it rusts. So, you know, if you do go off-road and you run over something that leaves a scratch or a gouge in your skid plate, which is bound to happen, the scratch or gouge will then wind up rusting. So that's why I went with aluminum. I think it's the better choice. And again, it's lighter, and you know how I am. I'm always trying to make my vehicle lighter, despite the fact that I just put on 100 pounds worth of sliders that don't fit all that great. But anyway, next video hopefully will be next week. It's going to be really easy. I think it's going to be cool. God knows it'll probably get 1 million views because it's kind of silly. But going to try something next week. I think it'll turn out cool. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. We'll see you next time, man. Take it easy. Bye.